The following is a production of Stevenson Media.
And what is going on, my Houston Texans family? Welcome to a very special edition of the Twin Toros podcast. What episode is this one, OG?
61.
61.
Got to be somebody on the O-line.
It has to be someone from the O-line.
While you pacing Bills, I'm going to look it up.
Yes. So we just want to shout out everyone who is on here. Hold on. Is Brino Giacomini one of those?
Uh-oh.
If he's one of those, that's an insane pool. But
That would
moving
be.
on. Shout out to everyone on a Saturday. It is November 29th as we are filming this episode 8:05 in the AM. It's going to be posted by about midday today. We just want to thank everyone for spending their time with us. We have the biggest game of the season, Nick. And I felt like I've said that the past month, but here we are once again. The Texans have an opportunity to once again, in back-to-back weeks, shock the NFL world and really shake up the playoff race. But before we get into that, this episode is brought to you and powered by Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Football has never been more exciting than it is now with players like CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Jefferson. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to a 1,000 times payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you could win big. Use promo code 713HOU, and you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Sleeper is also doing something fantastic. Free $20 entry. Just type in 713HOU. And we also have some picks for you guys today. So for this Sunday, we are going Nico Collins anytime touchdown because Nico Collins has been terrorizing the Colts the last few years. We're going CJ Stroud over on yards. I am predicting this to be a CJ Stroud game. There was a lot of pressure on him to deliver. And then right there at the last one, Daniel Jones. When was the last time a quarterback threw for over 200 yards on you? Well, it was Josh Allen in a horrible effort on Thursday Night Football. But other than that, teams are not throwing 200 yards on this Houston Texans defense. So I am taking the under on Daniel Jones. Shout out to Sleeper, man. Promo code 713HOU.
Absolutely. Oh, man. I'm hyped for this one. And you know what? What was the name you said for 61?
I said Brino Giacomini.
Unfortunately, that is not one of them.
Read me some of the 61s.
Fred Weary. Offensive lineman. All of these are offensive linemen. We got Thomas Austin, Kyle Fuller, Marcus Cannon. So, I don't know, man. I feel like Fred Weary, that's OG, man. That's 2002. So I'm going to give this one to Fred Weary.
Yeah, let's give it to Fred Weary wherever you're at. Shout out to you,
man.
once a Texan, always a Houston Texan. Nick, how are you feeling for this game? It's I'm starting to feel some confidence inside me. I'm starting to see some some hesitation from the Colts side as the last month momentum for these two teams has entirely swung. How are you feeling, OG?
I told you if Davis Mills was
did.
able to beat the Bills, you weren't going to be able to tell me shit.
Talk to me.
And bro, he did it. He pulled it off. The Texans defense did once again what the Texans defense does in NRG Stadium, and that's make good quarterbacks look like trash. So headed into the Stroud house, where we know, first of all, we got the news CJ Stroud will officially be back on the field in Indianapolis, where he is 3-1. Heading into there, you know, a lot has been made about the resurgence of Daniel Jones's career under Shane Steichen, and all credit to him. He's had a really good season, but the Indianapolis Colts ain't faced the defense like the number one defense in the NFL, Houston Texans. Um, all the Texans have to do in this game is limit the run. And, actually, the youngster, um, Kalen Bullock,
Talking trash already.
talking trash already. He said the same thing. He said, if we stop the run, they really don't have anything else. Honestly, I tend to agree with him. Now,
Mhm,
stopping Jonathan Taylor, easier said than done. He's had a
mhm,
resurgence himself. He's having an MVP type season. But if there's anybody I trust to figure this out, it's D'Amico Ryans in this Houston Texans defense. Once again, the only thing we are waiting to see is can CJ Stroud, who I want to bring up another graphic because a lot of people have been making a lot of noise about how they think Davis Mills should be
mhm,
starting this game. And I just want to share with you Davis Mills and CJ Stroud's stats for this season. Now, Davis Mills has played 5 games because he came in late after we blew out the Ravens. And then he played in the Broncos game because of CJ getting hurt. But in 5 games, yes, he is 3-0. He has 879 yards. He's only completing 58.7% of his passes. He's got 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, so he's taking care of the ball. There's some things he's done well. His yards per attempt is 5.9, and he's got an 83.7 rating. CJ Stroud, on the other hand, is 3-5, 1,702 yards, 66.5 completion percentage, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 7 yards per attempt, and he's got a 93.4. There is a reason that CJ Stroud is still the
mm.
quarterback of this team, and he deserves to be the quarterback of this team. So I just want to kill all of that nonsense. Shout out to Mills. We appreciate what you
Yeah.
did, and it's good to have a good backup. But going into this game, especially after seeing what the Chiefs did to the Colts, I'm extremely confident, man, that they're going to go in there and get a dub. I'm feeling hyped for this game. I don't think it's going to be easy. Once again, question marks on the offense. Can CJ Stroud? Because the one thing that Davis Mills did well is he took care of the ball
Mhm.
and he got the ball out quick. Can CJ Stroud do the same thing? If he can, he was starting to cook, in my opinion, the last couple of games. I know he had a bad game against the Seahawks, but he was starting to cook before he got hurt. I think he had a good first half in that Broncos game before he got concussed. So I'm feeling good about it. And I think Texans fans should too.
Yeah, on your first part, I think Davis Mills did his job, and I think he, deserves a lot of praise. When you look at those 12 quarters that he played and started, he only played good in 3 of them. The fourth quarter against Jacksonville, the fourth quarter against Tennessee, the fourth quarter against, I'm sorry, the second quarter against Buffalo. It wasn't all perfect for Davis Mills, but you are grading on a curve, and he got the job done. He got you 3-0, which is something that CJ Stroud had mentioned in his press conference. Look, CJ Stroud's a franchise quarterback. CJ Stroud is going to be allowed to go out there and make mistakes. And as he should, this is year 3 for CJ Stroud with the new offensive coordinator. And, a lot of things, Nick, have changed since CJ Stroud was starting at quarterback for the Houston Texans, right? I'll give you 3 major ones.
Mhm.
One of them, this is the first time CJ Stroud is going to be behind this iteration of the offensive line. And this is an iteration that we believe is the best unit out there. Trent Brown at right tackle, Ed Ingram at right guard, Jake Andrews at center, Titus Howard at left guard, and rookie Ariante Ursary at left tackle. CJ Stroud has not been behind that offensive line.
Facts.
And what did that offensive line do on Thursday? Oh, just allow 0 sacks.
Mhm.
Okay. Number 2, the obvious one is, I mean, 2 and 3 kind of go into together, but they get their own category. Woody Marks in the last 3 weeks has become your number 1 running back. When CJ was out there, it was the split carries between the two. They were really close. That's not the case anymore. Woody Marks is your lead running back. And number 3, the emergence of Jaden Higgins.
Mhm.
Jaden Higgins 3 touchdowns in the last 5 games. And I think all 3 of them are in the red zone, if I'm being quite honest. He could have had 100 yards on Thursday night if Davis Mills didn't miss a couple of them. But those are just 3 right after, right off the bat, where I think CJ Stroud can immediately benefit from. And those were things that were not happening when he was out there, at quarterback. Not saying it didn't happen because of him, but this offense still trying to figure itself out.
Yeah.
And those three main parts right there: an offensive line, a dynamic running back, a potential number two at a wide receiver. I think those are going to bode well for CJ Stroud going in on Sunday. And then if I could add another one, the defense is finally getting to the quarterback.
Yes. Daniil Hunter actually leading the team in sacks, which is crazy after he went quiet for what, 4 games? And then just
After you had that question about him,
yeah, and then he
yeah,
went nuts. And then he went
seven
absolutely nuts.
sacks, 7.5 sacks in the last 3 games. The only other two Houston Texan players to do that, JJ Watt, Mario Williams.
Yeah, that's just I mean, he's been incredible, man, and like I worth every dime of the extension he's gotten. And we've been talking about all season, man, oh, the Texans are wasting this defense. They're wasting their defense. Well, they're on a 3-game winning streak. And now all of a sudden, man, you look
Mm,
at the standings. We thought the division was out of reach.
no,
You still have a shot at winning this division.
yep,
You're gonna need some help doing it, but you have a lot of your destiny in your own hands because you do get to play Indianapolis twice.
the Stroud
Um, oh man, I'm super excited about that. And here's the thing, I would love for them to sweep Indianapolis,
Mm,
but they don't really have to. You
no,
know,
they don't.
you can split with them and still have a chance in this
Mhm.
division. But man, I'm a shout out to the Cowboys. I know we're supposed to hate them, but they helped us out by
They
being
helped us out.
they helped us out by beating the Chiefs. And the Cowboys are probably just going to be playing spoiler. I don't know. They're really hot right now.
Bengals helped us out too by beating
Bengals
the
helped us
Ravens
out
a
100%.
lot.
So it's all of a sudden, man. I mean, think about how we were feeling at 0 and 3, bro.
And
Like,
and that goes back to, the point that I make is, a month ago, the vibes on these two teams were crazy, right? So about a
yeah,
month ago, we're at the trade deadline. What does Indianapolis do? 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Like a
mhm,
huge move. I believe they're 8-1. The number one scoring offense in the NFL, a defense, that is respectable.
right,
But what happened the last 3 weeks is what we've been talking about happening all year, and what Indianapolis Colts fans just refuse to acknowledge. And that is who Daniel Jones really is at the core. And that is a quarterback who you can't rely on him to win football games. Now, the last month, let's break it down. At Tennessee, you lose. I'm sorry, in Pittsburgh, the Colts lose 20-27. Daniel Jones sacked 5 times. The
mhm,
week after that, in Berlin, you have to go to overtime with the Indianapolis. I'm sorry, with the Atlanta Falcons.
mhm,
Daniel Jones was sacked 7 times. You get a win in overtime. You're on a bye week. You come out of a bye week against Kansas City. Daniel Jones not sacked. However, 19 of 31, 181 yards. When I'm looking at the points here, whenever the whenever the Colts are within 20 points, they lose the football game.
yeah,
Whenever Daniel Jones has under a 100 quarterback rating, they haven't won. I don't think they've won a team with a winning record.
yeah. They barely scooted by the Cardinals, who the
Oh, well,
Jacksonville
yeah, they have a
Jaguars.
win against the Broncos. That's probably their only dub
But
against a team with a winning record.
that win was also off of a phantom call that gave them an extra chance at a field
So
goal.
this is why, right? So this is why me and you knew it was fool's gold. But
Yeah,
I mean, when you're a Colts fan and you seeing 30 points a game every single week, how can you not buy in? Well, the last
yeah,
month, Colts fans are starting to think. They're starting to whisper,
yeah,
is Daniel Jones really the guy who we think he is? And the last month, no. And then you saw it on Sunday night. I'm sorry, you saw it on Thanksgiving.
yeah,
Kansas City, they took away Jonathan Taylor, and Indianapolis couldn't do nothing, right? So a juggernaut of an offense, Sauce Garner, we're going to the Super Bowl. Now it's, I
mm,
don't know.
yeah,
On Houston's side, my season was supposed to be over by Halloween. Not
yep,
even Halloween. 0-3. There's only one other team to come back from 0-3 and make the postseason. You know who that was, OG? The Houston
Houston
Texans.
Texans.
So history's against you. You climb out of 0-3. You get to 500. You get to one game above 500 because your defense sacked the MVP 8 times. Now your franchise quarterback is returning, and we feel like this could be, the start of something special. The entire narrative about these two teams has switched over the last month. And,
Yep.
who's really enjoying it all is Jacksonville, right? Jacksonville, they beat Tennessee. We beat Houston. I'm sorry, we beat Indianapolis.
Yep.
We're first place in the division.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Man, I'm super excited. And let me tell you this too. Um, when we were I think it was week 5, I
Mhm.
did a video and I actually put the Houston Texans tombstone on my thumbnail.
Oh.
2025 season. Rest in peace. I did that not because I really thought the season was over, man. I was trying to get that 2005 Houston Astros
Mhm.
mojo going, where if you guys will recall, the Houston Chronicle buried the Houston Astros at 15-30, and all they did was go on a run all the way to the World Series. Now, the Houston Texans, you and I have both talked about how we want them to do things they've never done before.
Mhm.
Get in the dance. And who the hell wants to face this Houston Texans defense
Nobody, because
in a
it could
playoff
really
game?
ruin your day.
I mean, think about who they would face in the playoffs. The Bills. You scared of that?
No,
Let's say they get to the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. That's the only thing
I'm
they have not
scared.
been able to prove
I'm
that they
scared.
can do. Yeah.
But Lamar's not playing too good. I don't think the Ravens are gonna win the North. So could you potentially go to Pittsburgh? Oh,
Oh my
oh
goodness.
my goodness.
I
You
mean,
go to
are you
Pittsburgh?
are you scared of the Patriots? Are you scared of Drake May? When you saw
Mm, I
what the
don't
Texans
know.
you saw what the Texans did to Drake May last season. Now he is new season, a different player, different coach. But all I'm saying is, man, like I don't think there's a single team if and once again, this is a big if this offensive line can keep playing well, and if CJ Stroud can find his groove, he doesn't even have to be rookie CJ Stroud, bro.
Yeah.
Be last season CJ Stroud. With this defense, sky's the limit, man. And how fitting would it be if the Houston Texans go further than they have ever gone before in the one season that we were trying to bury them 3 weeks into the
It would
season?
piss me off.
That would just be the way Texans do it though, man. They
Yep.
don't run away with anything. It's always drama. It's always close. It's been the tale of this entire season. Um, but the fact that we're here and it's about to be December and the Houston Texans are still playing meaningful football, that's all we can ask for, especially as content creators, right? We didn't want to
Mhm.
start talking about the draft 2 weeks ago. So here we are, man. They're in the hunt. And in a lot of ways, they can control their own destiny. Once again, you are playing your division leader twice. You split with Jacksonville. That's the good thing. The good thing. Um, Jacksonville gets to play Tennessee twice, don't they?
Yeah, they have Tennessee. Let me see. I have Jacksonville's schedule right here in front of me. Jacksonville actually has the easiest schedule
Yeah, they have
to
cake,
finish it
bro.
off. They got Titans twice. They got Colts twice. They got Jets and Broncos.
Yeah.
You see who the Colts have?
Oh, the
Um,
Colts is brutal,
the
bro.
Colts is the Colts is tough, which is what this was what we've been waiting for,
Yeah.
right? Which is why this whole mental collapse, right?
Right.
When we saw their schedule, we were like, man, that ended the month. Let's see how it's going to be. And we're not even at that point, and they're already losing football games.
Yeah.
When you really look at it, they've lost 2 out of their last 3, and Daniel Jones hasn't played good in any of those 3 games.
We haven't even mentioned the fact that he's got a broken leg now.
Okay, so let's talk about it, man. If I'm Indianapolis and I'm trying to be 100% like off, like not non-biased, if I'm doing what I think is best for my team, I don't start Daniel Jones on Sunday. And the reason is I see who else I have left on my schedule. Let me give it to you, Nick. After Houston, Jacksonville. Say what you want about Jacksonville. That's not easy.
Yeah, and that's a hard hitting defense when they're playing
Seattle
well.
Seahawks right after.
Mm.
San Francisco 49ers right after. The Jacksonville Jaguars again. And then finishing it off week 18 in Houston.
Yeah,
Like, if I'm Daniel Jones,
that's
I look at
brutal,
those
bro.
last couple of weeks and I'm scared. So if I'm Indy, I mean, I would think they would try to rest him this game.
But it's like you said, they I've been thinking about this since you and I were texting about it yesterday. The Jags are right on their heels, man. They really I mean, if they decide to
I
sit
know they
Daniel
can't
Jones,
afford to,
they're
but
definitely
your season's
conceding.
done if Daniel Jones gets hurt on Sunday. And we're not wishing any type of
Right.
injury on Daniel Jones. We want
No.
everyone to come out of that game healthy. But seeing the way he was practicing with, with that one clip, and man, that wasn't even 30% speed. You're
Yeah.
talking about this Houston Texans defense that just sacked Josh Allen 8 times, and you want a hobbled Daniel Jones to go out there, not only have to worry about his injury, but worry about the defense in front of him and worry about what the offense is doing.
Yeah.
Indy, ah, what's
It's
the
a tough
best case scenario for you here?
it's a tough situation though,
It's a
because
very tough
if
situation
they
because
sit him, they're pretty much conceding this game, right? They're not the Texans are not gonna lose to a 3rd string quarterback.
not Riley Leonard. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, to your point too, do you want to lose 3 out of your last 4? But it's just like, if you lose Daniel Jones, you have no Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Riley Leonard out of Notre Dame. And I just think maybe I don't know if it's a tough decision for Indy. Seeing the fans from Indianapolis react to the video, react to the news, they're not, they don't have any, like they don't have any confidence in Daniel Jones on Sunday. And
Yeah.
this kind of tells what the Houston Texans, right, what they're going to do. They're gonna have to, stop the run. They're gonna rely on Jonathan Taylor. I don't think Daniel Jones is gonna drop back 30 times on that leg.
Are there any scrap heap quarterbacks in free agency right now?
Not
Like,
anyone that can be picked up and make an impact in one day.
Teddy Bridgewater playing? I'm
Playing
trying to think.
horrible, horrible for the Tampa Bay
That is
Buccaneers.
he is playing for the Bucks, that's right.
But, I mean,
I'm
Daniel
just trying
Jones
to
is
think
gonna
like,
go.
ugh, alright. I'm just saying because I think if Daniel Jones got hurt and you didn't have AR, I think before you go to Riley Leonard, you probably try to find some veteran off of a scrap heap. Like,
I
you
just
start calling the Ryan Tannehills and everybody who I mean, I don't think you because 'cause they're still leading the division. They're in a tough spot, bro. Like,
they're leading the
and
division, but
and I
like I
thought
said,
go ahead.
okay, if you were the Houston Texans, what would you do?
If, like, CJ Stroud had a broken leg?
CJ Stroud had a fractured fibula, and you had the number 1 defense coming in, and you are currently, what are you, 8-3?
Yeah. Well, you definitely sit him because number 1, the Texans have a quality backup quarterback. The
For sure.
Indianapolis Colts do not. I
This is
think
a
if you're the
this
Houston
is a tough
Texans, you
decision.
what's that?
I said this is a tough decision for them.
No, 100%. And I'm not gonna pretend that it isn't a tough decision. It's just they're still leading the division, and this is why
Mhm.
I said I made a video a couple of days ago. I said, "If the Indianapolis Colts go through this gauntlet of a schedule and they're still leading the division at the end, tip your hat. Congratulations, you earned it. You're the best team in the division." But I'm honestly gonna be shocked. I know the Texans are gonna be in the mix, I feel like all the way until that final game against Indianapolis, and right now, I don't think we would have said this, like you said, just a couple of weeks ago. I think Indianapolis is the underdogs right now to win this division, just
No,
based on
well, I mean, I think underdogs, yeah, and as far as this game, the Texans are currently 3.5 point underdogs after being 4.5 points yesterday. So
well, that's I mean,
swinging,
that's
swinging
expected.
points right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a road game, and the Texans offense is not gonna I don't think Vegas has any faith in the Texans offense yet. Let's, like, show me first. And so, uh, I'm not surprised by that, but I'm just saying, like, looking at the rest of the schedule, what they have, what the Jaguars have, I think you have to give the Jaguars the edge right now,
Oh,
um,
absolutely. Yeah,
to win
yeah.
the
So, like,
division.
you can't mess up if you're Houston just because of the hole that you dug yourself in.
Right.
Um, but
You
you
can't
win
lose
this
to the
game against
Cardinals, you
Indy.
can't have a letdown versus the Raiders. Those have to be
Yeah.
automatic dubs.
So, the game against the Raiders, the game against the Cardinals, the game against the Chargers, those all have to be wins.
Mhm.
for you. Those are 10 wins right there. These next 2 weeks, can you get an 11th win? Can you get
Mm.
a 12th win, right? Can people have been talking about winning out the rest of the season. I don't think it's not a possibility. We just have to see how the offense plays, right? If your offense goes out there in Indy, right, CJ Stroud, they put up 23, 24. We're
Mm.
gonna be feeling like we can go out there and win every single football game. But
Sure.
let's say you win this game against Indy, and boom, we're back. Like, not only are we back, but like we're about to be in the driver's seat.
What if the Titans upset the Jags, bro?
If the Titans upset the Jags, then still the Colts have a lead in division, but you are now
Yeah.
tied with Jacksonville, and you potentially have a potential tiebreaker over Indianapolis. So the season,
Mhm.
in terms of that, the race just started. But then you have next week against Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. And if you end Kansas City on Sunday Night Football in prime time, a team that has beat us the last few years, I mean, ever since
Mhm.
Deshaun Watson was quarterback,
Yeah.
the vibes around this team are
Yeah.
going to be immaculate. The talk around this team is going to be Super Bowl.
Yeah. ESPN is already glazing this Texans defense,
I
rightfully
mean, and
so.
as they should.
They should.
There was a stat. It said that there hasn't been a defense this good since the Legion of Boom.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's the name of
they're
this
doing
defense?
historical things. We don't have a nickname for this defense, do we?
Yeah, someone
Hmm.
called them Border Patrol, but that was a not a
Yeah, I don't like that one.
yeah, I don't like that one. Um,
Don't like
makes
that
sense
one at
though,
all.
but like we're in
Well, except
Houston.
for I if they had one weakness, it's the red zone, so I wouldn't even say that that would qualify, but,
Um, I don't know, but it looked nasty in NRG. That battle red.
oh, yeah.
Can you
I
imagine if someone would have took flares in there?
oh, man.
Oh, just an atmosphere that was so electric. Like we get to see
Yeah, and
how
then, man,
scary.
shout out to the fans who got in early and were swarming because I was a little bit mad. I texted you because Bills fans were in there while everybody was warming up.
'Cause they didn't wanna be outside tailgating, that's why they were too scared.
And listen, I know Houston Texans, like, greatest tailgating in NFL. I get it. But man, the way that everybody got in there and swarmed when the team came out the tunnel, that made me proud to see, man, and it let me
Did you
know that
see
this
how it
city
was after?
oh, yeah.
Man,
And I
my
don't know,
partner
man, this city
man,
is so on
I
fire
got
for
a
this team.
video of, like, just females on tables, bottles being popped. I said, Is this my stadium?" But it
Oh,
just goes
man.
to show, man, what happens when you have a winning football team,
Yeah.
and
Oh, this city is ready to explode
don't
for
let
this
this
team.
team beat Indy and Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. I
Do
mean,
not let this team do that, because you talk about confidence. The man behind me, when he has the confidence,
yeah,
he said it himself, "I'm a top 5 quarterback."
yeah. I mean, think about it. 2 years ago, they did not clinch to the division until the last game of the season, and it took Jacksonville collapsing against the Titans. So,
Yeah,
listen, the Titans have helped the Texans out before
uh-huh,
in this regard. So,
yeah.
like, never say never, bro. I'm just happy that we're not talking about the draft, bro. That's all I'm happy about. Like,
Like you said, I'm happy I'm playing meaningful football. I'm
yes,
happy
yes,
that this team turned it around because the conversations, they were getting nasty. They were
yes,
getting
sir.
ugly. We were having conversations that we were having back when Lovie Smith and David Culley, were the head coach, and
Yes.
now you're back and your quarterback's back. And I really like what CJ Stroud said, right? Like you get to see things from a bird's eye point of view.
Mhm.
I think one quote that stuck out to me was, "Oh, he said, oh, other quarterbacks have to go through this too." He said
Yeah,
that
he
to
got to
me.
watch the
I was like,
defense.
all right, you were watching, you were paying attention. I feel like, man, we're gonna get something special.
75-yard bomb to Nico, first play
First
of the
play,
game.
first play. Give me your score prediction.
Ooh, okay. I think the Texans are going to be able to stop Jonathan Taylor. They're gonna make I'm sorry, Davis. They're gonna make Daniel Jones beat them if they're going to get beat.
Mm,
And I just don't have confidence in that he's gonna do that. I think CJ Stroud, let me we talked about how he sat back and watched. What did he get to see? He got to see Davis Mills successfully, number one, use his legs in situations where the open
Mm,
pass wasn't there. Instead of and he got to see Davis Mills get the ball out quickly. You know, if his first read was open, he hit that person. And then he got to see Davis Mills utilize, once again, you brought it up, um, Woody Marks in the run and the pass game. So I think he got to sit back and watch. I think he saw his young uh, wide receiver, Jaden Higgins, get a little bit more confidence. I have a feeling, man, give him a couple of quick passes, get him in a rhythm early, and I think this Texans are going to put up 24 points.
you know, it's oof,
They're
oof.
going to put up 24 points. And I think that this defense is only going to allow 14. 24-14, Texans win by double digits.
I was gonna go 24-17, but I'll take that as well. I think this Houston Texans defense is going to hunt. You know, you have to get CJ Stroud going early, and this is kind of what you want, right? The Houston Texans, they put up points early, and then as the game goes on, they're allowing these defensive ends to just go out there and hunt. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a fun episode. Twin Toros episode 61. Can't wait for more. Episode brought to you and powered by Sleeper. Free $20 entry. Just type in promo code 713HOU. We got Nico Collins anytime touchdown, CJ Stroud over 234 passing yards, and Daniel Jones under 225 passing yards. Use promo code 713. That was the OG. I am Ruben Calavillo. I love you guys. Have a very blessed day.